So in this burst guide I'm going to be covering how to burst with Storm Within Fire, how to burst with Serenity, and then how to burst in the open world and world PvP so that you can one-shot people, which is really fun. So let's get into it. Now, one thing to keep in mind with Storm Within Fire is that your clones are somewhat unreliable. You really do want to make sure that your clones are hitting your kill target so that you're not missing out on any damage on the person that you're trying to kill. Also, with there being a lot of stun duration reductions in the game right now, your rotation will change depending on what you're fighting. So if you're fighting an Orc with Relentless, you won't be able to get as many abilities off during your stun lock as you would fighting a Troll running normal Trinket. So the main idea behind burst is just getting off as many abilities as you can during a leg sweep, and then making sure that you follow it up with a Fist of Fury before leg sweep runs out so that you keep them stun locked. I'm going to be making this guide assuming that you are fighting someone that isn't running Relentless, isn't an Orc, and is just running a normal Trinket. Now, when you're going for your burst, it's ideal to start off with 2 Chi. That just makes it so you can get off an extra blackout kick during your burst, which does a little bit more damage. But you won't be able to get this blackout kick off if they're an Orc running Relentless or something, so don't worry about it in that case. But if you just want to go for full damage on someone that doesn't run Relentless or isn't Orc, you can do this. So you start off with 2 Chi, sap your kill target. Sometimes you won't have sap available because you might be using it to cross CC, but if your partner has that covered or if you're just dueling someone, it's perfectly fine to do this. Once you sap your target, the next thing you want to do is go for a Touch of Death, but you want to do it without breaking sap, and Venruki highlighted this method where you stand next to your target, don't face directly towards them. This makes it so auto attacks don't trigger, but you can still use normal abilities like a Tiger Palm or specifically a Touch of Death, and because it doesn't do initial damage, it won't break sap. So now they're stuck. So now your target is sapped, they're stuck in CC, and they're ready to be set up for a leg sweep. Once your target is leg swept, you'll then go into a Sun Kick, Energizing ELIXIR, Strike of the WINDLORD, Blackout Kick, Tiger Palm, Fist of Fury. You will be able to get all this off in Arena because you do have quite a bit more haste than you do in the open world, so don't worry about missing an ability. So for the whole rotation now. When you're channeling your Fist of Fury at the end, the stun won't last for the full duration of it because it's going to be DR'd, in which case if you feel as though you're not going to get all the ticks off, then you can cancel your Fist of Fury early and then go for a Rolling Dragon Punch. That's basically it for Storm Within Fire. Now we're going to cover Serenity. Now as for Serenity, it is a hell of a lot easier to use. That's because you don't have to have any Chi beforehand, you don't have to use any generators. All you do is you leg sweep your target while they've got Touch of Death on them, spam as many abilities as you can, prioritizing your hard hitters first, and then following it up with a Fist of Fury before the stun of your leg sweep runs out, and Sun Kicking after that. So the setup is the same. Sap your target, Touch of Death them, then leg sweep, Serenity, Sun Kick, Strike of the WINDLORD, Blackout Kick, Spinning Crane Kick, Fist of Fury, and then end that with a Sun Kick. Now if you're wondering why I said Spinning Crane Kick does more damage than one Blackout Kick does, assuming you've tagged one target, which you will have. But for every target that you tag, Spinning Crane Kick gets harder. So if you've been hitting one target and you decide, okay, I want to go for a switch, and you hit this guy, Spinning Crane Kick will now do extra damage. Quite a bit more than Blackout Kick will. So it's perfectly okay to throw a Spinning Crane Kick into the mix because it does more damage than Blackout Kick. So during your leg sweep, go for a Sun Kick, Strike of the WINDLORD, Blackout Kick, Crane Kick, Fist of Fury, and then Sun Kick after that. And that's pretty much it for Serenity. It's really, really easy to use. Also, another thing that I want to highlight about Serenity, I see some people leg sweep and then pop Serenity at the same time. And this is sort of bad to do because leg sweep incurs a global cooldown, but Serenity is off the GCD. So when you go for a leg sweep, if you pop Serenity at the same time, you're wasting one whole global cooldown doing nothing because you can't actually use any abilities. So when you go for a leg sweep, make sure that the global cooldown is over before you Serenity, and then immediately when you pop it, use an ability like this. That way you save an extra second and you're not losing anything. Now as for World PvP Burst, you will want to run Serenity. It's just a lot easier to use out open in the world, and it also depends on what stats you have. You basically just want to stack Mastery, that gives you the most damage, and also what legendaries you've got. So the best legendaries to have would be the Legendary Trinket and the Legendary Gloves, because that makes the Touch of Death hit really, really hard. So your burst rotation involves just touch deathing your target, then waiting for your Touch of Death to go off, and then just before it goes off you use Serenity, Strike the Windlord, combined with a Gunpowder Charge and then Sun Kick. And if you want a macro for it, all you do is just you bind a Gunpowder Charge, and if you've got the Legendary Trinket, bind that in here as well. Then all you do is you just Touch of Death to target. You can sap them after that if you really want to. Alright, wait for it. Leg Sweep just before it goes off. Serenity, Windlord, Sun Kick, they're dead. Really, really insane, but also really easy to do. But yeah, that basically wraps up everything that I had to say about Burst. Hope this helped you guys a little bit, and I also wanted to mention that I am back at school now, a little bit more busy than I was previously, but I'm still going to be trying to make stuff during my days off or whenever I've got a free bit of time. So just for being patient, thanks for watching, and yeah, catch you guys later.
I will end you.